Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you something that's going to astound you. But first, remember to stop the camera and enlarge it to full screen often during the course of this video. Because what I need you to notice is at the top of the pharaoh's headdress that was discovered by Howard Carter in the year 1922 is something that is called the vulture's headdress. And under the chin of the pharaoh's headdress is something that is called the fork's beard. However, the identical silhouette of what appears on the pharaoh's headdress that was found by Howard Carter in a dig at Giza appears on the end of the $1 bill, including every detail and aspect of the face that you can see me sliding in and out. Notice the fork's beard at the chin. Now notice the vulture's headdress at the top. They are identical in nature because the beings or godlike entities or deities or a remnant race of beings that created the pictography that appears on the $1 bill is in total control of the United States government, the Vatican, and of course London. Now, to prove this, aside from the 1990 pages in my book, aka Angels on the Ark, look at just behind what was the pharaoh's head a moment ago, and you will see the 13 beads at the end of the $1 bill in the center of what is called the dais. Those 13 beads are also part of the discovery of the pharaoh's headdress discovered by Howard Carter in the year 1922. And on the back of the vulture's headdress, or on the back of the entire Tutankhamun headdress that is coming into view now, is a 13-beaded, what looks like a ponytail, with exactly 13 beads on it, which is identical in nature to the 13 beads that are in the center of the dais between the two faces that appear to be facing left and right on 45-degree angles up towards the sky. And I'm going to do this by rotating this entirely one 360-degree turn, and then I'm going to show you something else about this pharaoh's headdress with the vulture's headdress at the top and the fork's beard at the bottom. If you'll notice at the top of the pharaoh's headdress that was discovered on the dig in Giza, the vulture's headdress, and you'll notice on top of the 13 beads in the center of the dais, they both appear to be snake-like creatures. Now this occurs for a specific reason. However, the faces that you see that line up perfectly with the Egyptian god-like headdress are very similar in nature to Incan or Mayan godlike faces that date back as far as 40,000 years ago. However, there are Egyptian faces on this bill as well, and you see the Egyptian faces by rotating the bill upside down. The Egyptian faces come into perfect harmony with the vulture's headdress from the opposite angle. And now what you are looking at is an Egyptian face with the eye that appears to have a protrusion moving upwards towards the sky from the eye. That protrusion is part of what is called non-Euclidean optics and proves in a segment of my book that this is a face of an angel and part or one of two faces of the six-winged seraphim that face before and behind. And those projections are in reality beams of light that are coming around the seed pod, in this case the evil seed of death, and also around the God pod. Those faces that have the 13 beaded, what looks to be a root going down, are the two faces of the six-winged seraphim. And you know they are the six-winged seraphim because if you stop your video now and look at the detail immediately on the left and right of each eye, you will see that each one of those protrusions has 6 individual lines representing the 6 wings of the sixth-winged seraphim that protected the Lord God by being the protector and angel on the end of the Ark of the Covenant that also appeared to be a bullock or a calf or an oxen that you can see by putting it on a plane such as this. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Fazio, and inside my book, aka Hoodwinked by an Angel, I have proven every single word of what I said to you in this video beyond doubt. However, you haven't heard about it because the powers that be know that I have exposed the true meanings of the pictographs that appear on the obverse and reverse of the living $1 bill with the words that appear in the Living Bible. Now, I don't look like the type of fella that would make the kind of discovery necessary to change the course of history, but by utilizing the Living Bible and my understanding of pictography and hieroglyphs, along with my understanding of the words in the multitude of Bibles that have existed over the course of history, each one having something to offer, I have proven beyond doubt that there are 3,300 pictographs on the obverse and reverse of the $1 bill, such as this little ditty. Well, because of lighting reasons, I will have to change the light. However, there are 3,300 pictographs on the obverse and reverse of the $1 bill, including this representation of what I call the evil seed of death, and inside that orange circle is a representation of the shield of the United States of America, and on that shield is something called the chief with the blue lines, which represents the United States Commander-in-Chief, aka the Chief. It also represents an ancient Mayan or Aztec Indian because of the vertical headdress on top of what appears to be an Indian chief holding a bow and arrows. Underneath the Indian chief's so-called legs and below the eagle's head is a nuclear detonation, because that is the methodology in which they have chosen to destroy this world's populace. All of this information, once again, is in my book, aka Angels on the Ark, which is a 1,990-page ebook downloadable in seconds via a 100% secure site, aka PayPal, and for 99 cents we can have that book on your desk in minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the person that made the discovery of the 3,300 pictographs on the $1 bill, and my discovery will change the course of history. Whether or not you choose to believe it is of little or no consequence. I might not look like such an intelligent fellow, but I have done something that every theologian, every society that calls themselves so-called scholars, every university, every entity on this planet that calls themselves a scholar when it comes to biblical understanding and or understanding of hieroglyphs and pictography, I have emailed at least 75 to date. I have received 0 responses after sending them the information that's in my book, and even a free code for my book. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you don't really believe they're going to let some crazy guy from Howard Beach not one-up them, but make them look like the fools that they are for missing the 3,300 pictographs on the obverse and reverse of the $1 bill that are directly associated with the words in the Bible. And rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, they're not happy about that at all. Some clown from Howard Beach, a carpenter, a.k.a. the man who owned Barge Dragon, who used to run cranes, barges, and tugboats and build decks for a living, made the so-called scholars of the planet Earth look like a bunch of fools at their own game. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Fazio from Howard Beach, a.k.a. hoodwinked by an angel, making them look like the fools that they are, ladies and gentlemen, and loving it. Now, today is January 6, 2012, and God day to you all.